and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I totally got banned last week, so I am very happy and grateful to be back. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm going to play it safe, but I might be playing it safe a little bit moving forward until the ban is lifted, which I believe, I want to say 3 to 6 months, but don't quote me on that. So, however, that being said, that is why I have my very own exclusive membership on my website, and you can sign up totally for free, gain access to tons of videos that are censorship free. I get to say whatever I want and all of the words I want without censorship, and there's also no ads. So check it out. That being said, today we are talking about Lionsgate energy and really like an energy update. This is a hugely vital message to all of the starseeds out there. So I am so pumped. I've been feeling really nauseous actually all day. And I think that that's a huge activation in the solar plexus chakra. And a big part of it is talking about this video. Thank you, Nicole, for that wonderful super chat and supporting the channel. Speaking of support, make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. That does help me, even though YouTube does censor, but it helps me regardless. And of course, give this video a thumbs up and share this video to others who really need this message at this time, because it is quite vital. So, what if I told you that everything you've been working on, everything you have been challenged with, everything you've been going through has led you up to this moment right here, right now? It's go time, starseeds. This is the call that you have been waiting for. This is all of the symptoms, all of the shadow work, all of the challenges, all of the body aches and the weird health issues. This is all of the sleepless nights and the activations, the psychic attacks. Everything, and I'm just getting freaking full body chills right now, everything has been leading you up to this moment. Now, although Lionsgate is very powerful, this video is not even really about Lionsgate. It is because it's a pivotal time and we get to talk about Lionsgate as part of the pivotal time. But we've got the second half of 2023 is extraordinarily vital for all of us at this time. And today I am going to go through all of the stages and all of the symptoms that you've probably been experiencing over the last 3 years, leading you up to 2024 and just taking you beyond, okay? So what I recommend is grab your notebooks. Get your notebooks going. If you don't take notes the first time, you're definitely going to want to rewatch this because it is just so important. So first of all, let's just talk about what Lionsgate is. Okay, so Lionsgate, along with other portals, are just energy vortexes that are created based on numerology and a lot of the times based on astrological alignments that help to amplify the energy. That's all Lionsgate is. That's all I've channeled it to be anyway. I'm sure there's other things that maybe other people know about it. All I know about it is that it's an amplifier, which means that if you haven't done the work, you're going to be forced to do the work. If you have done the work, then you're ready to move on to the next vibrational level, and this can allow you to get there. What I tend to find with a lot of starseeds, myself included at this time, is that we are in a quantum space. We are getting confronted with old energy and we're getting confronted with new energy. So most likely in the past 3 to 4 weeks, you've been having a lot of vivid dreams. You've been thinking about old memories, maybe old relationships or friendships. Maybe you have been dealing with some trauma that you thought you've already dealt with, but it's coming up again. So old challenges resurfacing at this time so that to allow you to clear, right? It's an amplifier to allow you to clear. And then at the same time, it's okay, great. Now that I know that I don't want that, What do I want? Where do I want to go? And the pivotal question is, who do I want to be? And that, my friends, is what we all need to be questioning and thinking of moving forward. Who do I want to be in this new vibrational alignment? And that's what 2024 is all about. And it's really, really, really important. And you're watching this video right now for a reason, because this is your message from the universe to say, it's go time. It's time to step it up and take action. Okay? And that's what this timeline is all about. That's what the rest of 2023 is all about, is taking that action. And if you're maybe watching this in 2025, that's okay. That's okay if you missed the boat in 2023. This is your time to take action. Okay? Okay, great. So, how do you utilize Lionsgate energy, this amplification on planet Earth? We've also gotten hit with tons of solar flare energies, even like radio blackouts have been going on. So, the vibration is high, regardless of Lionsgate or not. It's intense. It's an intense time to exist in general. So, what I recommend is consciously do the cord cutting. Consciously be aware of what no longer serves you, who no longer serves you, and also what personality traits or aspects of your daily life and routine no longer serve you. Maybe you love eating chips and you're obsessed with just every night it's your thing, you devour a whole bag of chips and you're like, I don't like that habit that I have. Well, this is the time to be aware of what you don't want, what you don't like. And once you're aware of it and you cut those cords, you can then move forward and say, well, what do I want? You know, it's okay to be snacky at night, but maybe it's a cut up apple or oranges instead, right? It's just a healthier option. Um, so what don't you want? Cut cords with what you don't want. And at the same time, utilizing the activation of Lionsgate energy, what do you want? What's that future look like for you? What do you want to start manifesting and creating in your own life? That is how to utilize Lionsgate energy. Now that we've talked about Lionsgate, let's talk about the real shit. Not that that's not real shit. The stuff that's really going on right now that is like a major, massive underlying theme. And the reason why like I'm discounting Lionsgate a little bit is because it happens every year. It's an amplifier. It's a great time to, review your life. But what's happening right now is like a once in a lifetime situation that's happening. Okay. So, mentally in your mind, I want you to check off the invisible check boxes of, does this sound like you? Is this what you have been going through in the past 3 years? So what I'm going to review with you today are all of the signs, the symptoms, and the stages that you have most likely been going through as a starseed between 2020 and now, 2023. Now, it's very possible that you started going through these things even before 2020. So a lot of starseeds also started having these symptoms and going through these phases back in 2018. That's kind of for the ones who are a little bit preemptive about it. But most likely, if you're here, you started off this progression through your ascension in 2020. So just keep an open mind about timelines. So the first stage that most likely you have gone through is called shadow work. We should all know, you're on my channel, you should know what shadow work is. It's essentially going into those deep traumas of maybe your ancestral traumas, maybe your past lifetime traumas, maybe your childhood traumas, and maybe it was an abusive relationship, maybe it's your own self-worth issues, okay? So the first stage that most likely you got hit with in 2020 was shadow work. And that means an ego death. And what an ego death is essentially understanding that you no longer want to adhere to the identity of your old self or of the self that you were attached to. There are many other symptoms of shadow work. Sometimes it includes psychic attacks, but a lot of the other symptoms of shadow work are anxiety, depression, health issues, just random health issues that come out of nowhere. Maybe you sprained your knee when you were like 8 years old and that knee sprain comes back, things like that. Tons of family issues arise during shadow work, most likely because family is a really good reflection and really good reflection for us. So we can actually do our shadow work through our family, and then we're really confronted with family during some shadow work activations. Also, during your shadow work phase, you would probably experience old traumas resurfacing and lots and lots and lots of exhaustion. And a big reason why you would experience exhaustion with shadow work is because you're doing a double shift. You are literally living your matrix life. You're going to work, you're trying to pay the bills, you're taking care of kids, you're, I don't know, being a good partner or whatever it is, whatever that matrix looks like for you. And then at the same time, at night, in your downtime, if you do have it, behind the scenes energetically, it's just nonstop clearing, processing, observing, getting triggered, having all of this old energy surface, basically. It's exhausting to basically maintain our life and do the shadow work, like get to that deeper rooted stuff that's been sitting there for a while. Okay, so that's like phase one of these past 3 years is shadow work. And I'm hoping that you are past that stage, because there are 4 stages that you have been going through, and I'm hoping that you are on the last stage. So we'll get there. So let me ask you, does that sound like you? Can you check that off of your invisible boxes in your mind? Do you feel like you went through that? Do you feel like you had those symptoms? Did you go through that phase of shadow work? Okay, the second phase that most likely you experienced is called integration and upgrades. Okay, and I mean, I just label these as like an official name or whatever. It's just something that I came up with. So the second phase is integration and upgrades. So the integration piece is you are now integrating new space energetically. Why? Because you did the shadow work. So you have space that has been cleared, and you're integrating that. You're integrating the healing and the work that you've done. And it takes quite a while to integrate the work that you do within the shadow. And then activation. As you've cleared space energetically, you now have room to get to the next vibrational level. So here are the symptoms that you experienced or probably experienced during the integration and upgrades phase. More anxiety, woohoo! Why do we have anxiety during shadow work? Because we're dealing with the lower vibrational shit. Why do we have anxiety during integration and upgrades? Because we're upgrading to a new vibrational level that is, it's a completely unexperienced place, and it can be anxiety ridden just because we don't know what to expect. So more anxiety. More sleepless nights during upgrades, during integration. There's still a lot of processing that you're doing, and because a lot of us just don't meditate often enough, the time that we get to really have that downtime and that conscious awareness is at night. It's when we sleep. So sleepless nights, vivid dreams are all a part of integration and upgrades. And like I mentioned, vivid dreams is another symptom I wrote down here. Cosmic disclosure, which is awesome. So a lot of the time during integration and upgrades, there is some sort of like individual disclosure that you went through. It could have been a documentary that you watched that really resonated with you or blew you away. Maybe you stumbled across this crazy alien lady called Elizabeth April, and that blew you away, and that was disclosure for you. Maybe you had a crazy dream, or you saw some sort of weird orb moving around in the sky. Cosmic disclosure is a big part of integration and upgrades. And I just briefly and I've talked a lot about this in other videos, but I do believe that we are hybrid beings. I do believe that that missing link in our evolution was interdimensional beings coming to planet Earth and screwing around with us and creating us as what we see today, which is hybrids. And so when we start to raise our vibration, when we clear that space, when we start to upgrade, cosmic disclosure is super, super vital within our ascension, because the second that you just open your mind enough to understand that aliens probably do exist out in the universe, immediately that alien interdimensional DNA within you gets activated just through the belief that they exist, because they are a part of us. So just wanted to mention that. And if you haven't had cosmic disclosure yet, don't worry, it is for sure coming. Also, psychic ability activations. Maybe you're starting to see, more orbs or shadows or light flickering out of the corner of your eye. Maybe you had some sort of weird mediumship experience with someone on the other side. Maybe you had an astral traveling experience and you're like, holy shit, I'm out of my body and I didn't even know how I did that. So more psychic abilities being activated during the phase of integration and upgrades. And then what else do I have here? Oh yeah, losing people in your life. It is very, very common during this phase of integration and upgrades. You are becoming a new person, you're figuring out those higher vibrations, and most likely you're gonna stop resonating with people in your life, whether they be friends, family members, neighbors, co-workers, and naturally you're gonna drift apart. And if you don't naturally drift apart, then there's usually some sort of big blow up that kind of forces you apart. So keeping that in mind and knowing that is totally normal. Letting go of old self. It could be, once again, called an ego death. That's a part of integration and upgrades, letting go of your old self. And it takes a while. Think about it. It could be 10 years of some sort of identity attachment that you have. It could be even 30 years of identity attachment that you've had or whatnot. And it takes a while to let go of that old self. And then also within this phase, you most likely experienced on and off health issues. So during the integration and upgrade phase, health issues will come up and then they'll clear and then they'll be back and then they'll clear. And it's a little bit confusing, which is totally fine and totally normal. And it's just the residual energy moving through your system. Okay, the third phase that most likely you've been through since 2020, and this is a very recent one, okay? This is, there's 4 phases. We're just entering into the 4th, okay, collectively. But man, have I been feeling this next one. And it's called holding pattern. Oh, this is like my least favorite phase. The holding pattern. Woohoo! Big eye roll. So the holding pattern phase, whoops, I just hit my light. The holding pattern phase is where you're literally in a holding pattern. You have done a lot of the shadow work. You've upgraded yourself. You're ready to go, but you don't know where you're going. There's a little bit of confusion. You try something new because you feel like you want to try something new and it's not working out, and you keep hitting roadblocks and you don't know why you're hitting roadblocks, and then you're back to just chilling. It's the worst. Okay, so restless, okay? The biggest symptom of the holding pattern phase is restlessness. You could call it anxiety, but it's different than anxiety. It's this feeling of, I want to go. Oh, I don't know where I'm going. Yeah. It's like a hurry up and wait sort of energy, okay? And part of it, a big part of it is wanting to do more. I'm ready. I want to do more. I'm ready to go. Nothing's working out. There's no answers for me. I don't know where I'm going. I want to go, but I don't know where I'm going. It's this constant battle. And hopefully, intuitively, you've been feeling like, no, I just got to chill. I just got to hang out. This is where I need to be. I'm hoping that your intuition has been leading you down the path of like, it's okay to not do anything. Um, Also, lots of distraction. This is part of the other like frustrating part for me being in the holding pattern for probably the past year. It's like scrolling on Instagram or like watching just endless television. And I'm like, I don't like in the middle of distracting myself. I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is not fulfilling. I don't want to be here. But I also don't really have any motivation to do anything else. And there's another keyword there is lack of motivation. So you want to go, you don't know where you're going, so there's a confusion about the next steps. But then you're like, I'm also okay with chilling. There's also this energy of like kind of just distracting yourself, being aware of distracting yourself, hating the fact that you're distracting yourself, but not really feeling motivated. It's a very confusing time, okay? It's not been great. It's not my usual at all. Um, yeah, and then it's just like the same repeated things that I wrote down here. Need to move forward, but not knowing where, lack of motivation, lots of distraction, restlessness, and wanting to do more. Have you guys been feeling that? And I actually totally forgot to ask you about the integration and upgrades. Were you also feeling, or have you feel like you've gone through the integration and the upgrades? And then the holding pattern. Have you been in the holding pattern? Like, do you feel like that's kind of where you've been at recently? Oh, it's so annoying because I think as star seeds, like, we're here. It just gave me chills. We're here. We're on a mission. We got shit to do. We got lots of contracts. Things are moving planetarily. I'm ready to go. But where's my place? Like, where am I going? Like, I'm just spinning in circles. I think that that to me is like I can deal with the challenges, I can deal with the triggers, I can deal with the shadow work, I can deal with the ego deaths, I can let go of people, I can cut cords, I can feel anxious, I can go through the sleepless nights of upgrades because there's movement. I can't handle the no movement. It's really been driving me nuts. But don't worry. Don't worry. You're exactly where you need to be. However, my friends, there is a fourth phase. This literally, all this information just got downloaded to me like 2 days ago. And personally, I was immediately relieved. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank the universe, you know? This is a real thing. I'm not just going crazy. Okay. So the fourth phase, this is brand new. And you, if you're anything like me, you're gonna start to feel these symptoms of this next phase. The next phase, the fourth phase of 2020 to 2024 timeline, but really it's like 2020 to end of 2023. And then what we're gonna experience is 2024 is gonna be, yeah, pretty much 2024 is gonna be a lot of the fourth phase. So for the rest of 2023, you're going to be in between the holding pattern and the fourth phase, which is action. Holding pattern, action. Holding pattern, action. As a matter of fact, you might already experience hopping between the third phase and the fourth phase. Holding pattern, action. I have no motivation. I have all the motivation. I don't know where I'm going. I know exactly where I'm going. I don't know what I want. I know what I want. I don't want to move forward. I really want to move forward. Okay, so here are the symptoms in the fourth phase, which is action. New everything. Woohoo! New job, new home, new relationship. And if you've upgraded your life already, good for you. And all of the things in your life are new in the past couple of years, or even especially in the past year, then it's about the new you within your environment, okay? For a lot of people, it's going to be new opportunities within your environment, and then it's anchoring in the new self. New, 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 new. In the action phase, it's new everything. And then also creating opportunities. This is the phase of action, okay? You are very easily and effortlessly creating opportunities. There's no stress or anxiety or confusion anymore because it's all happening easily and naturally. There actually isn't much that you need to do in order to create the opportunities. They are just going to be created for you, and then you step into those timelines or realities. So keeping that in mind, also, like more traction. You're just simply going to gain more traction. When you do want something and you know what you want, it'll be there for you. Whereas in the holding pattern, and for me, I've definitely been in the holding pattern for at least a year, maybe a year and a half. And it's like, okay, even when I do know what I want, it's not manifesting. It's just not, there's no traction there. And that's okay. The holding pattern is totally fine, even though it's annoying. A new restored energy. For everyone who has been going through anxiety and depression and restlessness and exhaustion, the new phase of action is going to bring restored energy. You actually should feel your energy pick up a little bit. And also, along with that, your creativity, your motivation, your excitement for life again. And you're going to start to get more and more unsettled with your distracting behaviors. Okay? Now, one thing that I want to mention when we transition between each phase, what's important to think about is that it takes 21 days to create a new habit pattern. All right? Which means that if we've been in one of these phases for a year or more, then what happens is we've now just created the habit pattern of distraction. And the more awareness we have around those habit patterns of, I don't want that habit pattern, I don't want to be that person, I don't want to be triggered or controlling or angry or whatever it may be, I don't want those aspects of my life, the more awareness we have, the easier it is to change. But once again, sometimes your soul is ready for it, but your brain and your physical being are actually stuck within the programming that you've created just because you've been in that habit pattern for a while. It's like, it's the cognitive dissonance of, I don't want to eat the whole bag of chips, but I'm currently eating the whole bag of chips. And that's okay. There's going to be a bit of reverb for a little while until you're like, boom, screw all of that. I'm ready to move forward. Okay, you're getting there. I'm getting there. We're all getting there. Okay, what else did I write down with the action? New motivation, lots and lots of movement, kind of talked about that. And then just naturally a higher vibration. Within this new action phase, you're gonna naturally have a higher vibration, which means that you're gonna attract higher vibrational opportunities, abundance, things are easy, effortless, in flow, all of that great stuff. Like I said, 2023, it's going to be half holding pattern, half action. 2024, okay, this is your message right here. You need to know who you want to be and what you want to attract in your life by the end of 2023. Because starting 2024, we are going into a brand new 4-year cycle. 2024 to 2028, okay, we are going to have a lot of changes happen both globally and individually. If you are still drifting around starting in 2024, there's going to be a bit of catch up that you need to do. You're a starseed, you're an old soul, and you, my friend, need to be leading the charge planetarily. So sometimes that means that yes, you're starting a new spiritual business and that feels really good for you. Sometimes it means that you're just now enlightened or awakened and you get to help friends and family members who are, running around a little bit. Like you can be an individual force to be reckoned with, or you can really step onto that stage and help the planet move to the next phase or the next level. Okay. But you, no matter what, you are going to be called into action. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, EA, how do I know if I'm a starseed? And, I kind of mentioned this in my Q&A that I did with my members yesterday. And this isn't an ego thing, okay? Even though it sounds like I sound like a dick saying it, but you would not be here. I'm telling you right now, there are millions, if not billions, of YouTube channels and like weirdos online spouting off information But like this channel in particular is for star seeds, okay? You would not be able to handle the reptilians, the quantum, the past lives, the third eye activations, the DNA shit. You wouldn't be able to handle the information if you were not a star seed, okay? This is what this channel is for. All right? So, yeah, like sorry, not sorry. If you're here, you're a starseed. And that's so clear. It's so evident. I know that for a fact. All right? You could be anywhere else in the world right now, but you aligned your vibration to be here right now to get this message to say, it's go time. Stop holding yourself back. Stop second guessing. Stop feeling stuck. Stop questioning your ability to help others. And understand that you're worth it. And understand that it's time to take action and move forward. Because you are here not just for your own ascension and karmic clearing and learning lessons, but you're here, I was going to say, to watch the show. You're here to participate in the active ascension of planet Earth. You are not a student. You are a teacher. And it's time for you to fully recognize that and step into it. This is your time. So stop doubting. Stop holding yourself back. Stop pretending that you're really just the student. And step into being the teacher. Because I know you have it within you to do so. All of this information isn't anything that you don't already know. I'm just validating what your soul already has, which is pretty badass, right? So let's go. Let's go. It's time. All right. That being said, I am very excited in just a couple of days to have a Galactic Federation Summit on the 11th of August. We're going to be covering lots of different really cool topics like hopping timelines and the light and dark battle and a bunch of other things that I actually can't remember right now. So check out the tickets for that. If you are thinking to yourself, I love this information, EA, but I have no idea how to move myself from the third dimension, from my matrix reality, into my fifth dimension or higher self reality, I do have a course. It is my absolute baby of a course, okay? I put my heart and soul into it. It's called the Shift Masterclass. We just revamped it completely, and it will hold your hand through going from old habit patterns, triggering energies, old programs, ego, attachments, emotional reactions into a higher state of being. And on August 21st, we've got 22% off site-wide, okay? It is the end of the summer sale. So if you do want to participate in the Shift Masterclass and really change your reality, or maybe there's a course or a workshop or just a Galactic Federation Summit or even GFL bundle that you really want to binge watch, definitely check out the sale, all right? So hold off for your big purchases until August 21st to 31st. All right, 22% off everything. All you have to do is go to the site during that time, and the discount is applied everywhere. That being said, thank you all so much for being here. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please share with friends, family members, and those that you love so much because they need to hear this. And it's go time, and I'm excited. I'm so excited to get out of the holding pattern and change my life for the better and bring more presence and awareness and less distraction into my reality so that I can really show up for myself, for my child, for my wife, and of course for this community and the world, because, you know, the universe knows that we need it. We need us to show up, especially moving into 2024, because shit is going down. All right, I'm so happy to be back on YouTube and uncensored, hopefully. Let's hope for that. Sending you so much love, and as always, I will see you, really, in the new Earth frequency. Bye for now.